The PBIS paradigm is based on these concepts. An emphasis on lifestyle change for the student. Do you want a high-quality life for yourself? Of course you do. Let's provide the same for the disabled student. Functional assessment of problem behaviors. The phrase functional assessment sometimes confuses people. The word functional simply means useful or meaningful. So do a truly useful assessment of the person's problem behaviors by taking into account everything which might have affected the student. This assessment must respect the student's needs and desires. Not everybody can remember that. Multicomponent interventions. One size does not fit all. Just because a particular intervention has been recommended for another child with ASD doesn't mean that it'll be effective for your particular student. According to the National Research Council, effective programs for children with ASD incorporate an eclectic collection of instructional strategies and interventions to cover all a child's areas of needed improvement. Strategies and interventions have been researched to succeed in teaching the specific skill or behavior for which they were developed. You'll need as many strategies as areas the child has problems. Fashion your intervention to fit each of your students with ASD. Manipulation of ecological and setting events. Do as much as you can to encourage the probability of desirable behavior occurring, considering his health, comfort, desires, serenity, etc. Could you arrange your classroom differently? Store materials in different locations? Position the paraprofessionals in different ways? Use color more effectively? What about predicting events in ways the child understands? Emphasis on antecedent manipulation. Wow, that's a mouthful. It means set up for success. What can you do ahead of time? Try not to wait until an unacceptable behavior has occurred, but think about what you can do to keep the behavior from ever happening in the first place. Teaching adaptive behavior. Knowing the student's strengths and weaknesses, systematically teach different acceptable behaviors to replace the unacceptable behaviors. Do this in calm situations before he needs to use a new behavior in real life. Then practice. Building environments with effective consequences. You know what the individual wants to get, and you know what he wants to avoid. Be sure your teaching environment includes all of these things. The individual needs to encounter preferred and non-preferred things naturally in the course of his day. These things trigger natural learning situations. Natural learning. We want that. Minimizing the use of punishers, big one. When frustrated, a person can easily overdo punishers without meaning to. I've seen this, I've done this. I call this my emotional quotient, losing my IQ points so that I react unthinkingly. Remember that when I'm angry, frustrated, afraid, tired, or stressed, most people think less clearly. I'm one of them. It's best to avoid punishers for this reason altogether. Besides, while I'm lecturing the child about poor behavior, isn't he escaping that work task? Distinguishing emergency procedures from proactive programming. Yes, there will occasionally be crisis moments. You'll need a plan to protect the child and everyone else during a crisis. This plan is not programming. It's just an emergency reaction. You need it only for those emergencies that do arise. But don't do it on a regular basis. If you have a crisis, it's an indication that something in your program is not working. Call a meeting and revise your programming. We all have these learning situations. Emphasis on community-based programming. Your student doesn't live at the school. He lives in his community. Teach in the community as much as possible. It's the place he'll need to behave in the new desirable ways, so he may as well practice there.